So then you're running to hip hop
Yep.
to find that escape, and then all you're being met with is make this money, sell this
cash,
gold, fucking hoes, this red bone.
And not just
It's gotta be a red bone.
Yep.
Can't be no dark skinned babe. It's gotta be a red bone. She gotta have a big ass. You gotta have this. You gotta have that. You gotta have this.
And
know
how
what I
you
mean?
make that
And
money.
How you make that money?
When I was a kid, my mom was a social worker, and as corny as it sounds, she used to come home almost every day and make me and my brother and sister repeat after her, "I am somebody." And it's mad corny now, but think about it, like,
so gangster.
yeah, like you're making me say this, and that after you say it so many times, you start thinking like, yeah, okay.
Dead in hip hop conversations. Dead in hip hop conversations. We're here with Night Wonder. What's good, homie? Dead in hip hop.
So if y'all just watching Dead in Hip Hop, be sure to check out the album reviews, the indie interviews that we put up. This is the conversation, so we got those, so check out some more of those on the channel. Hit us up, follow us on the social, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, the whole nine. Joining us today is the lovely Boog Brown.
Gotta say wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Boog Brown.
Wonderful.
Yeah, first time being introduced to Boog Brown. Be sure to catch our interview that we did with her a while back. A little bit more about them.
And make sure you go get
Wonderful.
the Late Bloom. Her album came out. Late
Yes.
Bloom. Support it. Buy it. Cop it.
Please and thank you.
Please and thank you.
Please and thank you. So today we're talking about Kid Cudi's comments. Kid Cudi recently made an appearance on the Arsenio Hall Show, and he had some things to say about hip hop. And he said that hip hop is holding us back as a culture. All of the braggadocious, money, cash, and hoes type thing is preventing us from advancing.
Do you agree with what he said though? Like in context, like a lot of people are like, oh, well, hip hop is holding us back as a people, and then they end quote at that point instead of taking it into the entire context of what he was saying. Like people miss the parts about like why he's saying what he's saying. Like if you do have decades worth of fucking material that's all talking about the same shit, like from puffy decades to like now, everybody's on the same shit, but these are the same motherfuckers that would hate on MC Hammer when he was out calling him a sellout, like, oh nigga, you got dolls and endorsements and money and all this shit, right? And it's like, oh, not everybody wants to take that model that Hammer used and fucking manipulate and capitalize on it, right? But they're doing it with information and ideas and messages, even in the sonic, the whole sonic level of the music, the high pitched hi-hats and the double times on all that shit, all those vibrations are the same thing, right? So when you're talking about somebody like Cudi who's dealing with those issues, he's from the inside out, like the spook that sat by the door, you know what I mean? So he's like looking at it from a situation where he's like, son, this is 10 years of this shit, 10 years of this same shit. Like, yeah, that's holding us back. You've been doing the same shit for 10 years? Come on, son.
And you see it carrying it over into other, forms of entertainment. You see the basketball players that's dressing, all hip hop, and they get all the tattoos and big jewelry and all this other stuff.
That started at the Fab Five college level.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's not new. But it's not new. But you see
It's
them.
getting worse is what Kim said.
It's building on that. Because now all of a sudden they're growing because they're young, right? And they're listening to, you talk about decades of this stuff going on.
Right.
That's what some of these kids are listening to that we're watching now because they're in their 20s. So so as a teenager, that's what they heard.
They get introduced to that.
Yeah, they didn't hear the stuff that we heard.
But I'm saying, like 10 years ago, like AI was the influence.
Yeah, that's what I was
You know what I'm saying? So it's been around for forever. It's just it's different generations. It, like when we start to get around our age, you know what I'm saying, you kind of start maybe growing out of it. But I think that influence and that inspiration of hip hop and entertainment, especially with athletes, it's always been there, Ken. It's just we're in a different decade of it now. You know what I'm saying?
I guess I'm thinking like I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking like what the influence was with hip hop when we were growing up. I'm 32, you know what I'm saying? So when we were growing up, we got you know, we still had the Run DMCs and we still had the Public Enemies and we still had that. So there was also this. There was a balance in it. So like we were able to make that choice like, this is also a way I can be successful, and this is also what success looks like. So you can make a valid, or you can make a justified decision as to how you want to angle yourself within this world. Like hip hop is social commentary, what it is. That's what it is. It's what it's always been. That's what art is in itself. So you can't like take all of the influence and throw it away, because there still are motherfuckers that's out here hustling, getting it, and doing it every single day. So that is a reality of it. But I think the balance is what's missing.
But do you think that the internet has brought, you know, some type of balance? Because you're 100% right. Back in the day, you had a lot of the Run DMCs and everything that had radio play. They just not getting radio play, but there are a lot of artists that have, you know, pretty big fan bases that don't get radio play, and that's because of the internet, you know, and because of the other ways that you can kind of get your message out there without the prototypical corporate sponsorship or being signed to a major label or anything like that. I just think that in terms of balance, that the masses don't hear certain positive messages.
Like, why do you think that is though?
And maybe that's what Kid Cudi was speaking on. He was probably speaking on from the mainstream standpoint. That is like, so yeah, he was speaking on from the mainstream. Of course, he's not gonna talk about the underground, like you said, the underground MCs or the MCs that are out there hustling and doing it. He's probably speaking from what he see in the mainstream. What we just talked about too. What corporate kind of seems to put their money behind or always want to push. And maybe that's why I think it's holding. Maybe he may say corporate is holding, is making it hold it back.
That's what I loved about what Cudi said, is he wasn't taking the cop out of, oh, it's corporate, it's corporate, it's corporate. He was saying, it's y'all. You guys are holding us back. And he's so right. He said, not that he's right just because he said something that I said, but this is what I've been saying to you guys this whole time. You cannot keep just blaming corporate.
Yeah.
It's us. If we didn't want that to be the face of hip hop, it wouldn't be.
Right.
We're not standing up and saying that this is not what hip hop is supposed to be. Hip hop has not been rebellious in 20 years.
20 years.
You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. Like, hip hop, when it came out, it was the voice of the people. It's not. Now it's just a soundtrack for shit that we don't even know anything about.
Right.
You got rappers that are just running around here, bumping in the whip, not shitting on you or nothing, but I'm saying like bumping in the whip to shit that none of us know that lifestyle.
Because
at all.
Because speaking of that, you think we have a self-destruction type of song today in hip hop?
You
like
probably couldn't
every
get
song is
nobody.
self-destruction,
You
right?
couldn't get nobody to get on that shit. I couldn't get a feature for a
Hell no.
motherfucker.
Right.
I tried to get bras to get on songs with me,
Like
and these
that.
bitches do not want to fucking rap with me because you think that I'm about to. Yes, I'm gonna body you on this song, but I'm gonna body you on every song. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's like, okay, we now we know who's dope and who's also dope. You know what I mean? Because it's not like, oh, okay, but all these egos, it's like there's this idea of all this excess, but then it's channeled into like a fucking funnel. So it's like there's this lack like right at the top of it. So motherfuckers don't want to unify and make a self-destruction. Why would I want to look like I'm cool with you? You don't even dress, nigga. Look at your shoes. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like shit like that. It's too much politics involved. And while we do have the power to say, hey, I'm not buying this shit, then you got the motherfuckers that's sitting at home that want to download shit. They want to get shit for free. They want to do all this other shit. They don't want to support the artists that's saying the good shit, right? They don't want to support that. All you got to do is look the part these days.
Yep.
So I don't think motherfuckers want to be on the self-destruction shit.
Well, plus, because if you did a self-destruction track now, it's like, who would you really be speaking against, right? You're biting the hand that feeds you, and rappers don't want to do that. They want to keep making money. They don't give a fuck about, furthering along communities. They don't care about that. They care about furthering along their bank account, getting money. That's what every fucking song is about, getting money.
But see, here's the thing though. I talk about getting money too, right? Because
That's
I have
not all
to.
you talk about.
That's not all I talk about, but I definitely make a point to let it be known, like, nigga, you gotta cut this motherfucking check if you want me to be on this song or in this environment or this. So it's not the evil is not in the making money. The evil is in the greed and the manipulation of that shit. That's I think where motherfuckers fall short.
I think if you go into the rap game,
we not trying to make money?
Yeah, but if that's your only reason for making music, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's gotten to a point now where younger kids, and that's why everybody's a rapper now.
Yeah.
It's getting to a point now where you think the only way to make money is to be an entertainer. And that's the sad part. Like every dude you meet nowadays is a rapper. Not because they all love the art, it's because they think it's the easiest way to get
But
money.
that's that school to prison pipeline. So it's not like it's not like you can even avoid the talk of the corporate shit being involved with it, because it's not like if you got somebody that can't read and is consistently bombarded with Rick Ross and Maybachs and Drake and Lil Wayne, and that's all they know sonically. That's all they know. They don't even know how to spell these words that they saying. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know how to spell a Maybach. Right. You know what I'm saying? So like, but you got people that's all they're bombarded with, and it's like, true, we can make it be like there is an army of people that are making and waiting for people to be like, yo, over here, we've got sanctuary over here. This is what it is over here. There's an army of people doing that shit. But if you're constantly bombarded with just this, and your mama say it, and your daddy say it, and your uncle on that same shit, and everybody on that same shit, it's like the choice gets slim.
Yeah, right.
The choice just gets slim. So you sometimes fall through the cracks on that shit, man. And it's unfortunate, but it's equal blame, I think. I don't think any one thing outweighs the same thing, because it all has to be balanced for it to work, and it's working. Not for our good, not for our greater good, but as far as, you know, if we're talking about the school to prison pipeline, and we're talking about it's working. It's fucking working. If all you feel like you can do is be a rapper.
A rapper or a ball player.
Or a ball player.
And that's it. And that's what I think, like I said, that's why I think it's so great about what Cudi said, is it kind of lets you think like there are other options out there. Like Cudi said, his sole motivation for making music, it doesn't matter if he's telling the truth or not, whatever.
Right.
Let's just say he is, just for the sake of discussion. His sole purpose of making music was to prevent people from committing suicide. People like Ross would never say something like that. Kanye, well, I can't say Kanye might, but people like Jay would never say something like that. And I can look at Cudi, like I say, he's probably telling the truth. I've listened to his music.
Right.
And when I was, if Cudi was around when I was in high school, hating life, man, he would have been my savior. He'd have been my hero.
Yeah, because he said he hated life and he's been thinking about committing suicide for 5 years.
Yeah.
How many would be honest enough to say something like that? I thought about committing, especially black rappers.
Right.
I've been thinking about committing suicide for the past 5 years.
Because suicide is not a black thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not a hip hop thing.
It's
you know
exactly.
They always think it's suicide. They always think it's white
Yeah,
kids
it is,
white
or
colored
Asian kids,
yeah.
or under pressure a lot, and it's like, what? How do you miss the pressure that comes from being just black?
Yeah.
Like just being black, especially a black man in America. Of course, there's fucking pressure. It's surprising that the suicide rates for black men aren't higher. You know what I mean? Or black people, period, aren't higher. But yeah, to be fucking lanky and skinny with acne and fucking crazy looking coming up as a middle schooler, and motherfuckers is, oh, you're not cute, you ain't got no titties, your ass ain't this, you're not this, you too skinny, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? High school and fucking middle school was tough for a nigga. You know what I'm saying? This is really hard. So like somebody like Cudi saying that is like, that is that, hey, I got this salvation over here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got this. And I think I respect him because he is on the inside of that shit. He's still cutting checks. He's still writing songs. You know what I mean? There's still that aspect of it. So I appreciate him for saying that shit. Could you say somebody like a Tupac was that role model for us back when we were?
Yeah, to a certain,
To a certain degree. I mean, early Pac.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Early Pac, yeah.
I ain't talking about All Eyes on Me.
The first three albums. We ain't talking about All Eyes on Me in here right now. We talking about early Pac.
Trap, Brenda's Got a Baby.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Dear Mama.
Really the same thing though. Well, no, not like, I mean, of course we all love Pac, but
I don't mean like suicide.
no, and that's really what I'm
That's not
sticking
what
to, like.
But he also said he did it for a place so that people could feel accepted as well.
Yeah.
So like that kind of covers a whole lot of ground in that, because that's, you know, he's talking about a personal issue and how it relates to him, but also like how it affects the people around you as well.
And that's why I kind of say I don't really know if that really, to me at least, fit in with Pac, because when I was a kid and I was a weird kid and I was getting picked on daily, you know, I didn't have a rapper to go to because no rapper was talking about that.
Right.
you know, I was having to go to like Robert Smith or something like that.
Right.
You know, I was looking to these guys to be like, yeah, I'm weird, everybody hates me.
Right.
You know, oh, you feel like me, cool.
Right.
When I looked at Pac, I was like, all I got when I was a teenager was, well, shit, I need to be hard. I was well, I'm still a bony little kid, but I was, fuck you. I was a bonier kid back then. I couldn't fuck nobody up, so I couldn't relate to Pac. You know, I liked his songs, they were cool, but it wasn't the same thing. If I had a Cudi when I was in high school, my life would have been a whole lot, especially because it was a black person like me that was not just stuck in hip hop, that liked other shit and was telling you that this is normal, this is not weird.
Right.
You know, I had to go to Bad Brains to make myself be like, oh, okay, black people do like other shit. You know what I mean? So I don't know if Pac was really that.
I feel you.
Probably not on the level, but I think for me, one of the things that pulled me into Pac,
Honestly though, that
Earl-
Pac was little.
early Pac. Brenda's Got a Baby, Trapped, you know, that Pac, was that he was addressing some of the things that I wanted to hear. You know, you guys know I love Public Enemy and early Ice Cube because, again, they were addressing things that I love to hear because I have such a strong love for our culture in general. So they're addressing and they're putting out these things that they're seeing, you know, on a daily basis. And they're seeing that what we're doing, you know, on a daily basis to ourselves and trying to really say we gotta do better and we can do better.
Right.
And that's so for him to make those songs, put that out for get videos and get airplay, keep your head up, you know, those type of songs, and for them to pop and be mainstream and plenty of people will listen to it. The girls that are in high school, you know, that's running around thinking they gotta sleep with this dude and that dude to be popular, can hear this song, you know, and say, you know what, I don't have to do that. I am better and more powerful than I think that I am, or that they're making me feel. So that's one of the things that I like about early Pac, because he addressed those things that a lot of people really weren't talking about on that level.
Yeah.
That's what we're lacking now. Now it's all about right. Exactly.
Right.
So and for me that moved me because, you know, who's talking about this stuff?
Do you think there are any more fearless artists out here?
Not on that level.
Because they can't get on that
Yeah,
level.
because they can't get on that level. But yeah, I think hip hop, I think in general, to me, has a great balance overall when you look at the overall landscape of it, but not on that level of they're reaching millions of people. People that need these type of messages, need the music, that it's not reaching them. And that's the same thing I said on the Talib album. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm listening to, I know what to expect from Talib at this point in time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what he is. I know what he talks about. And this album, that last album was so great, but I'm like, I don't know if it's going to reach the people it needs to reach. I know Talib. You don't know Talib. You need Talib in your life. You need to listen to some of this type of music. And I don't know if it'll ever reach them.
And he was there. He was like teetering on the brink.
Yeah, because he was with Kanye West and everything. Yeah,
There was a shift in the musical landscape, and he got pushed aside. You know.
That's what I was about to say. I don't think he was willing to make that change.
He could have easily done that because he has the voice.
Yep.
He has the talent.
He had the backing.
He could have. You don't think Talib could have made those popular pop rap songs if he really wanted to?
I'm not a Talib Kweli fan.
Okay. So no. I think if Talib wanted to make pop rap songs,
He could.
I think he could.
I think he could, and I think he could be successful, but would I value him any more than I do as an artist? No, I wouldn't, because I would see it as fraudulent.
But that's
You know
what,
I'm saying?
that's what I'm saying. Like
Like,
he didn't. He was saying that he got pushed to the side. But I don't think he got pushed to the side. I think,
kind of changed.
but I think he could have changed if he wanted to. But he didn't. I don't think he wanted to. I think he was just like, I'm not interested in going this way.
right, and I don't necessarily think that because the musical landscape had changed so much. I think if he wanted to rap over that kind of beat and do that, he could do that exceedingly well, just because he's a talented writer, period.
Right.
As far as me wanting to listen to it, I wouldn't want to hear that from him.
Of course.
Talib Kweli. You know what I mean? So it's not like I want to make him be the same artist as he's been. I just want it to be like genuine. Like I want the artistry right now in hip hop to be fucking genuine, and I think that's why I appreciated Drake so much, because no matter what, he's honest with himself, and there ain't a lot of people out here being honest with themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we want to be mad because he's making these songs that the girls dance to, but he never said, I'm making songs for the backpackers to dance to. No, I'm making songs for the girls to dance to because I like girls. I want to do these girls. And if I get them in the club and maybe they get a little tipsy, they might actually want to do me too with my weird looking self. You know what I mean? Like all of that is never like.
Mike's face is bright.
I mean, it's just never like never like he's ever been like, yeah, I'm doing this for whomever. He did it for his crew. He's still with the same crew. He did it for his nana, who he made sure was straight on her deathbed. You know what I mean? He did it for the people that he did it for, and was always honest about that. And there aren't a lot of people out here making that kind of honest music on that level, not at all. So I think he does fall in line with Kid Cudi. He just might not have he might have a different perspective, per se. But niggas ain't being honest. Everybody want to be tough. Everybody want to be hard. Everybody want to be a baller. Fuck about being
But you don't think that Drake kind of falls in line with that too sometimes?
Of course he does.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
because it's a different perspective now. He's not the same man as he was before. Like he's not thinking about walking down the street robbing a bank anymore. He don't have to. He had Dolce
if he's being 100% honest, I don't feel like he would have filmed a video with him with some black gloves on, you know, with some goons behind him. But I don't even want to get into a Drake discussion. But I'm just saying, I don't feel like Drake is really the same thing as a Cudi. When I
have you seen any of Cudi's videos recently?
Recently, I didn't know he was still doing videos.
That's what. No, I'm just saying, like any of his videos, any of his music, like you know, he talks about a lot of those things. Also,
Which things?
Like just being in a different bracket now, or just being in a different place, a different world right now. Like with his shit with that he did with Kanye West, he was on heavy on 808s and Heartbreak, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that whole album was kind of extravagance in itself, right? So it's like if you're looking at it from that perspective, he's not in that same world necessarily. So he's got different things to talk about, just like a Drake would have different things to talk about. That may not be him, but he probably does know a couple. I know a couple goons that'll put on black gloves and black hoodies and, you know, pull up to the side of your house. Like, I know those people. And if for the sake of art, I was rapping a song and I needed a video like that, I would do that.
You think that was just for the sake of art? That Drake did that?
I'm speaking in generalities.
Oh, okay.
Straight up.
Cool.
Straight up. I'm reaching, but I'm trying to make the point that like once your lifestyle changes, how do you take care, how do you interpret that and then bring that across as honestly as possible? And I respect Drake I feel like he does bring that across as honestly as he can. Maybe he's not being 100%, but I bet you he's being like 85.
Which is more than most people.
More than most people. Most people is like 10% honest and the rest, you know.
When I look at someone like Cudi, I do agree that I think that he is speaking a lot more honestly than other people. But I will say that one thing that did disappoint me a little bit in that interview with Arsenio was he was saying the whole Cash Money Hoes thing should be deaded and it's whack and it's not cool. But then they got into a discussion about his cars. I don't know if y'all watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
And he was just like, yeah, you know, I got 2,000 this, I got 2,000 that. That's what I'm saying. So I got 2,000 this, and you know, he was kind of making a joke out of it, but at the same time, the whole audience was like, yeah. Why are you clapping? You don't have that car. You're not driving that. He's not coming to pick you up. Why are you happy that he has that?
But in fairness to Cudi, it was a question he was asked.
I know.
He didn't put it out there.
I know, but I feel like if he wanted to stay along that whole line, he'd be like, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about something else.
That's true.
Because it's like, or just be like, I got this, and then just move on. But he was just like, I got this, I got this, I got this, I got this, I got this.
It was almost like, thank you for asking.
Right, yeah. Set your ass, I'm gonna stone you real quick.
You got about 6, 7 beats.
You know, I don't know. This is coming from a car fanatic person. I'm fine with that personally, and mainly because, you know, like when you achieve some type of financial status, if that's what you're into, that's what you're into. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I know if I ever pop off like that, I got half of what my fleet of cars is gonna be crazy. But that's just me. I'm a car guy. So, you know, I don't know if he's a car guy like that. I've never really got that from his music. Exactly.
Right.
I never got, so I don't know. It might be your personal little thing, but if that's what you do, then I'm fine with that. Have all the cars you can afford.